This is an amazing government budget right here, and I'll explain why. I've talked to ISP regarding their District 2 facility and their District 6 facility. These were projects they started last year, we budgeted for, and there were some things they didn't account for last year, changes in the market for building, and I got a lot of detail from them, and I'm very satisfied with those two budgets as far as they actually have a plan. They've actually come up with realistic cost estimates. Their manager of these projects is confident that the monies that we're appropriating in this bill will satisfy the actual design and the building of the projects. And now let's compare that to the higher ed capital projects. And I'm going to use Lewis and Clark State College as an example. So in this bill, we're going to give Lewis and Clark State College $2.3 million, almost $2.4 million. Now, the projects that they designed and they budgeted for have nothing to do with the number that we're appropriating. So they had actually asked for about $6 million for actual buildings, and one example is $1.3 million to build out the Clearwater Hall first floor for offices, classrooms, a computer lab for workforce training, and for campus overflow classes. Now, this is a fiscal year 24 budget, original appropriation. Theoretically, they could plan and they could get that project ready and do it all next year for that $1.3 million. And then they have another $1.3 million project and a $3.5 million project. So as a builder, I sit down with my clients, I do a design, I calculate how much it takes to build it, and then if I came back to the government to say, let's build that, I'd say, let's appropriate this money so we can actually get a building built based on a real design to meet real needs. And instead, what we have in this budget is we have a total of $72 million, not based on designs and build-outs to complete actual projects, but based on enrollment numbers at these institutions. So instead of the $6 million to Lewis and Clark State College, we're going to give them way less than that, no real building in mind, no real design, no actual cost attached to this number. We're just going to appropriate money. And then what they're going to have to do is they're going to come back. They're either going to go find other funding sources to build an actual building. This is the Permanent Building Fund. Or they're going to come back here next year, fiscal year 25, many months from now, and they're going to ask us for more money to actually build a building. So in my mind, this is totally unrealistic. I don't know how we can sit here and say we're going to do this and we're going to give this $72 million to these institutions for buildings that can't be built for this amount of money. Makes no sense for the taxpayer and our fiduciary responsibility. We have an opportunity to actually budget $72 million and fund actual projects that make up that total number. And if we go with this appropriation in the way we've broken it out in this bill, nothing can be built for the amount that we're budgeting. I wish we would send it back to committee, and I wish we would come back with actual monies that actually build buildings, considering that's exactly what the budget is for. And with that, I stand opposed to Senate Bill 1197.